Concacaf Men's Under-20 Championship qualifiers, and it all kicks off here in Group A with Grenada against St. Martin, the host of this group, Nicaragua. Tournament taking place here in Managua at Estadio Miguel Chocorón Buitrago as these two teams embark on their qualifying journey. It is a very warm day. Temperatures will be a factor, 92 degrees Fahrenheit, 20-mile-per-hour breeze, slight chance of rain as the day goes along. So the expectation, of course, with that heat is for cooling breaks and how that could impact the ebbs and flows of the game. Now, these two teams did not fare so well last time around in 2024 in qualifying. I'll get there in a moment. But first, the composition of this group: Belize, El Salvador, French Guiana, Grenada, St. Martin, and Suriname, all taking part here in Group A. The group winner only goes through. The way this qualification is set up, there are 6 teams that are already through to the championships that we'll see in the summer. The United States, Mexico, Honduras, Panama, Cuba, and Guatemala, all 6 preceded into the tournament itself this summer. The 6 group winners here in qualifying will join those 6 teams. And then once you get to that tournament this summer, taking place in July and August, what's at stake there will be qualification to the 2027 U20 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics, except for the U.S. We'll be mentioning that throughout the week. The U.S. already qualified for the 2028 Olympics as the host, so there's only one Olympic spot actually up for grabs this time around. All things we'll fill you in on all week long as this qualification gets underway. But it's Grenada and St. Martin to get things going here. Two teams who are hoping to fare better than last time. St. Martin did not pick up a victory. Neither did Grenada, though Grenada did pick up a draw 2 years ago. So we'll see if they can start off on the right foot here 2 years later. It's Grenada and St. Martin to kick things off in Group A.
Damas y caballeros, para este partido del clasificatorio sub-20 de Concacaf 2026, demos la bienvenida a los equipos de Grenada y San Martín. Damas y caballeros, nos ponemos en pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Grenada. Mantenemos en pie para escuchar el himno nacional de San Martín.
After the anthems, both these teams excited to embark on their potential qualification journeys here in this 2026 Concacaf Men's Under-20 Championship qualifying phase, all building up toward this summer's Under-20 Championship. The starting lineups and the officials for the match today. Our first look in many ways at a lot of these players, some names perhaps familiar from previous Under-17 tournaments. These players have aged up. Largely new looks for these two nations as a new generation comes through for Terry Lexis, head coach of Grenada. Peter Alexander in goal. The captain, Marshawn Sylvester, will come off the right side. Terry Francis anchoring the back line. And Benjamin Gray on that back line as well. Plays at Miami-Dade College in the United States. Interesting mix of players. Monte Phillip. For St. Martin, Jamari Daniel in charge, Roman McGlure in goal. Back line anchored by Stanis Perrault. Tyler Flanders, the captain of the midfield. Kamani Gatsi-Belza up top. That's the lone striker. Bretton Peters and Kenji Han, the wingers, there to help out. Keep an eye on Johnny Van Putten, one of those names that we've seen at various previous stages, U17 tournaments and whatnot for St. Martin. Really big presence on the back line, stepping up into the midfield, Van Putten. Martin in the red from left to right, Grenada in the green from right to left to get us going here. This here, the largest of the group, 6 teams in this group. And away we go with the first two, taking the field in Grenada and St. Martin. El Salvador, Suriname, Belize, and French Guyana. The other 4 teams in this group will see action later today. Two groups of 6, 2 groups of 5. Pardon me, 2 groups of 6 and 4 groups of 5, excuse me, as we begin this qualifying. That's how everything stacks out, and it's just the 6 group winners among that who go through to the championship this summer. Already 6 teams pre-slotted into that competition. Gasol all the way back to Magloire. 4 matches for St. Martin 2 years ago in this qualifying phase. Lost all 4. 3 matches for Grenada, 2 losses, 1 draw. First look here for Grenada. Centering intercepted by Perrault. Wide for Gatibelza. Stumbling over the ball. Could have been a good look. Barreling through for Kamani Gatibelza, who started that whole thing defensively. Away under pressure, Grenada. Try for distance here. Scampers wide. No trouble. Nice turn inside from Ije George. Able to link up on the outlet pass. Maxence Tegar. Played over the top here. Flex stays down. Into the hands of Peter Alexander. Gatibelza. Gatibelza's been very active in the early stages. There's a free kick that Gasol stands over. Gasol puts it up in a difficult wind, but in trouble for Peter Alexander. Switched out wide, flag stays down. Space forward to Shea St. Louis. To the end line for St. Louis, clipping it back post. Flag comes up, the ball was over the end line, a goal kick. St. Louis. George back for St. Louis. Good rotation to the midfield. Raheem Rayburn. Another turnover from Grenada. St. Louis. This near side of the field has been quite the battle early on. Wearing the 11, Kamani got to bells up. Active for St. Martin, their most active player, and wearing the number 7 for Grenada, Shea St. Louis. Involved, those two at it again. Early stages of these games where we learn a lot about these new faces at this level. Those two seem to be handfuls we'll be talking about throughout the day and perhaps throughout this group stage. Throw comes in wise in this wind, especially now toward goal from St. Louis. Every one of those opportunities into a goal-scoring opportunity, if it's there. Why not on the long throw? Stranger things have certainly happened. Given away. Flag stays down. Now it comes up. Delayed offside. Quite timing it up properly, Grenada. Have a closer look. Yeah, the right call, no doubt. A couple of yards offside. A little over-eager. Hamza Frederick. Battle down that sideline. Foul against St. Martin. Tebelza springing another attack here for St. Martin. Kenji Hon. Player down still. Back behind the play for St. Martin. Just a whistle. Just gave it away, now pleading for it to be played out. Grenada hasn't obliged, not obligated to, but now Melissa Pennington will blow it dead. Closer look. Right through the back of Kamani Gatibelza. Could be out here for Grenada. Frederick wide, St. Louis. Centered it through, intercepted. Nearly a quarter of an hour gone, neither Grenada nor St. Martin with an effort on goal. Clear intention from both sides, going direct, going long, going over the top. The way things work out here in a 6-team group playing 5 games, really want to get off to a good start. You can't afford to drop a game. When you have a group of 4 or even a group of 5, sometimes you really can't afford to even drop one game. But with 5 games to be played by each team in such a tight span, even the top-ranked team in each group can forgive a loss and maybe expect a loss or a draw on points to be dropped. Still like to get off on that strong foot, even though there is a bit of a safety net. Taken away. Once again in the attack again by St. Martin. Goal kick. Pressure from Brenton Peters. Again, it's Kamani Gatibelza sparking the attack down on the ground as he's taken out by Jace James. He's been in and around everything in the attack so far, through the wickets. Long throw coming from Clarence Nguesson. Get the flick on they were looking for. Nguesson a second time now. They do get the flick, but Karam's around, comes out of the area. He's given going behind, and Nguesson played in front. Sliding effort defensively. Could have been a dangerous moment. Brenton Peters on the strike. Never got through to the goalkeeper Peter Alexander, who has it in hand now. Giveaway from Grenada on the back end. That could come back to bite them. Slip through. Flag stays down. Another terrific defensive effort from Benjamin Gray. This time a corner, though, for St. Martin. Short from the corner. Wise with the wind whipping right down in that direction. Better angle played in, but headed clear. That stiff 20-mile-an-hour wind is blowing directly at that corner on the near side where it was taken from. It's so difficult to cut a ball accurately through that wind right now. Again, a defensive play from Benjamin Gray coming across in the nick of time. First yellow shown. Frustration shown by the captain, Narshawn Sylvester.
Atención, por favor. Tarjeta amarilla para la selección mexicana. Con el número 17, National Silver, al minuto 22.
He's taking a beating in the early going here. Come on, he got Tabels up. Seems to have a bloodied mouth this time. He has been a pest to deal with for Grenada. Shown a couple of fouls, created a couple of chances. Still scoreless halfway through this first half. Long throw again. Waiting for the volley, struck well and saved. The rebound was there for Tabels up, but cleared just in time. Again, short from the corner. Difficult with the wind. Taken into the area. Now some contact play on. Kenji Hong plays it in front, and it's in. The pressure had been building from St. Martin off a short corner routine. Eli Inkpa puts them ahead 1-0. Again, the way the wind is whipping 20 miles an hour in the face of the corner takers down on this near side. Behooves you to go short. Kenji Han made the strong move to the end line. You get the defenders turning, looking at their end line. Able to cut it back perfectly into the path of Eli Inkpa. And he does the rest. Some traffic in front of him. Deposits it side netting without trouble. 1-0, St. Martin, who again, of these two nations, had the more difficult qualifying journey 2 years ago. Difficult in terms of the results, I should say. Both the teams had pretty equivalent groups in terms of difficulty of the nations they drew. St. Martin 0-4, outscored 15-2. Grenada did have a draw in there. Of tighter games. So 2 years later, St. Martin, now the team so far today have looked the better of the sides. That's how quickly things can change at the youth age groups, U17, U20, on the men's and women's sides in Concacaf. New wave of players coming through, looking for more now. It's blocked. Trying to get it right back here, Grenada. Through Hamza Frederick. Frederick plays it through, almost an immediate response. Two players had a chance at it. neither able to put it on frame. It was Devontae Phillip who had the strike in the end. You can hear the conversation from Melissa Pennington asking if when McGlure needed a trainer. He shook it off. Hasn't got back to his feet yet, though. Chance on the corner for Grenada. Ballooned high, headed square, still bounding around and gathered by McGlure. Long throw comes in by Ingersoll. Conceding seems to have woken Grenada up a little bit. Can they get that goal back, though? Good opportunity for a set piece here. Shea St. Louis, back post, flicked on header, off the post. Offside. Side fly would have negated it. That takes us into the hydration break here in this first half. A 1-0 lead for St. Martin. Goal scored by Eli Engpop off of a short corner routine. Here's a look at that goal as it happened. Strong move right here to set it apart from Kenji Han. Still take nothing away from the finish from Eli Engpop. Far corner. Back to it now, out of the cooling break. Fifth minute is when that goal went down for Eli Engpop. 10 minutes ago now. Slip through. Flag stays down. Chance at another for St. Martin. Tough angle. As he'd run on by Brendan Peters. Try from distance, scooped up by Magloire. Played through, flag stayed down again, blasted and saved by Magloire. Fed back through the middle. Grenada responds. You could tell there was a different energy about them after they conceded. Seemed to have woken them up. And E.J. George responds in kind with the tying goal. They trailed for just 10 minutes. Level again. Perfectly timed run. Great initial save right there from Roman Magloire. They stuck with it and finished it off.
Su atención, por favor. Anotación por la selección de Grenada. con el número 20, AJ George, al minuto 37.
Expected between these two teams in the opening match, pretty evenly matched on paper considering what we've seen historically, that it could be this sort of back and forth affair, and that's what it's been so far. Darting through, head to St. Louis. St. Louis curling it down goal. Saved by McGlure. If you're hearing the microphones picking it up, the referee, Alyssa Pennington, counting down whenever the goalkeeper has it. It's part of the new rules implemented this year from IFAB. The 8-second rule being more strictly enforced for goalkeepers. Remember the old 6-second rule that would result in an indirect free kick? It was never really actually applied, except for that one time in a really big moment in the 2012 Summer Olympics when the United States pulled off a win and went out to a medal. That's the most famous one, the Alex Morgan free kick goal. Outside of that, hardly ever instituted the 6-second rule. Well, now it's an 8-second rule, and the penalty is a corner kick. So essentially the officials, or the powers that be, got together, felt that the 6-second rule wasn't being enforced enough, goalkeepers were taking too long, and the penalty didn't quite fit the crime of the indirect free kick in that position. So it's now an 8-second rule, more strictly enforced, and a corner is the prize. So that's why you hear Alyssa Pennington counting down whenever the goalkeeper gets the ball. New part of the 2026 rules update. Don't believe it was implemented at the U17 competitions we saw earlier this winter around Concacaf, but at this higher level at U20, it is part of the rules. St. Louis, nice cut in field. Still St. Louis for a goal kick. A pair of changes coming here for St. Martin, coming before halftime. We'll be pulling off Kamani Gatebelza. He's been the most active player in this one, as will see Brenton Peters come off. You'll see Gonzaga and Janelle Charleria-Dale coming on. I hope it's nothing injury related. Gatebelza has taken a beating a few times already in this half. Interesting for a double switch this close to halftime.
Sustituciones por la selección de San Martín. Sale con el número 11, Kemani Gatebelza. Entra con el número 13, Jansen González.
Through again, it sets up nicely, and it's tucked away. Marshawn Sylvester, the captain, puts Grenada in the lead. Frustration from Roman McGlure. They have flipped this game on its head, Grenada. Another well-timed ball through. Breakdown defensively. Some fortune there. Set up perfectly on the cutback.
Al minuto 42.
Could have deflected anywhere off of Johnny Van Putten. Set up perfectly in space for an easy finish for Sylvester. And a perfect 10, sticking the landing on the celebration. Right off the kickoff, taken away and back the other way. Magloire touches it over the bar for a corner. This is completely unraveled for St. Martin for such a promising start. Whipped in from out wide. Defensive header away by St. Martin. Hold on to this 2-1 lead here. Into halftime now, Grenada. That's to come late on. How different the conversation would be than it would have been just a short while ago. Trailing until the cooling break. Something changed. Scoring twice. 7 minutes thereafter. They attack on. Lewis had it knocked away.
Su atención, por favor. La cuarta oficial ha indicado
3 minutes tacked
que se
on at
agregarán
the end of this half.
al menos 3 minutos al primer tiempo.
Now it's St. Martin's turn to respond. Play through, dangerous ball into the 6 where Kenji Han had a lunging effort for it. Rather, that was substitute Jamil Charleria-Dale. His first opportunity. throw comes from Ingersoll. Settled. The end line for Hahn. Driven ball low in front. Oh, that's one that's got to be finished. From that close in, almost harder to miss than it is to make. Jan Arbal will be wondering how that went sailing. Up over the top, awkward one to deal with. Is that a handball on the keeper outside the box? It looked to be, it is. Peter Alexander handled it. Card is yellow. Free kick from a very promising position here. So after all that we've seen in this half, opportunity for St. Martin to still go into the break all tied up.
Su atención, por favor. Tarjeta amarilla para la selección de Grenada. Con el número 1, Peter Alexander. Minuto 45 más 3.
Eli Engpa, who has the goal already, is the one who sets this up. A little bit more difficult than it looks, being right on the edge of the 18. Tough to get it up and over the wall, but still under the bar in time. Takes quite a bit of skill. See if he has it in the bag of tricks here, Eli Engpa. And what will no doubt be the final play of this half. Engpa drives it and it's saved. Melissa Pennington allowed the corner. She will not. A protest from St. Martin, but to be fair, it seemed like she had it spot on. The free kick was awarded right as the 3 minutes were given. So, after all that, the half ends with Grenada up 2-1 on St. Martin. I'll look back at highlights from the first half of action between Grenada and St. Martin here in their opening match of Group A play in the 2026 Concacaf Men's Under-20 Championship Qualifiers. The Under-20 Championship itself taking place July into August. 6 teams already pre-slotted into that tournament. The 6 group winners of qualifying will be the ones that move on and end up in that tournament as well. In the early going, it was back and forth between the two teams, and it actually favored St. Martin despite the 2-1 current Grenada scoreline. St. Martin had a lot of opportunities to finish more than just the one. Opportunity after opportunity, a couple of big saves from Peter Alexander. But it seemed to be mounting as Kamani Gatebelza was involved in a lot of the action for St. Martin. And then from the corner, that's when they were able to get the goal. To the end line, it was taken by Kenji Han, found Eli Engpa. And Eli Engpa did the rest, putting it side netting. Seemed to be off and running. Came in the 25th minute, just 5 minutes before the cooling break. And I note that because the cooling break seemed to change everything. Coming out of that break is when Grenada was able to get right back on track. Big save here initially by Roman Magloire, but the rebound put in front and then finished off. EJ George able to get it done. And then it just seemed like the wind was at their back. Able to continue on. Find another. And this is where that second would come. Shortly thereafter, cutting in field, Narshawn Sylvester made no mistake. Brilliant cutback past the oncoming defender, Johnny Van Putten. And they would take a 2-1 lead into the break.
a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for this group of players. They win the Concacaf Under-20 championship. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for this group of players. They win the Concacaf Under-20 championship. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for this group of players. They win the Concacaf Under-20 championship. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for this group of players. They win the Concacaf Under-20 championship.
Sale con el número 17, Brento al minuto 41.
How y'all let a conscious nigga go commercial while on the nigga conscious ass? How y'all let the race on TV? How y'all let the hood that change? Now y'all don't even know how to rate it. Niggas looking like I'm a creative player. Everybody who didn't pay respect, gotta fess up now and pay the debt. Gotta lay something down to make a threat. Gotta say something now, don't hold your breath. How you mean like floating? I got the salt like a potion. I got them all like emotions and emotions. I can create emotions. I'm everybody in the ocean. I'm in the open. My nigga told me to go in. Nigga down on the whole bitch. I'm an old friend. Live my life on a slow end. Gotta keep shit rolling. I done fuck so much I can't sleep. I done fuck so much I'm retired. I'm about to live my life through day free. She said she broke down when Prince died. Bitch, my hair down, Prince lives with. Get your ass up.
Ready to begin half number 2 between Grenada and St. Martin. It'll be Grenada left to right in the green, St. Martin right to left in the red. A 2-1 lead for Grenada. And away we go. Second half of this first match in Group A on the 2026 Concacaf Men's Under-20 Qualifiers. St. Martin trying to begin this second half the way they began the first half, on the front foot. Worked back though by Grenada. Looking to add on here. Flag stays down, but it drifts just beyond the reach. Awkward coming together there between Devontae Phillip of Grenada and Johnny Van Putten of St. Martin, but both seem to be all right. Quick change here to begin this second half. Seems like an injury is hobbling off. Replaced by Jaheim Joe. Hobbling off was Eli Engpa, who has the goal for St. Martin back in that first half.
Sustitución por la selección de San Martín.
Sale con el número 8, Eli Kempa. Entra con el número 10, Yahi Joel, al minuto 49.
It's not going to be easy for St. Martin to regather some of the rhythm they had early in this game. So now tempers spilling over. In the midst of it is Darshan Sylvester, the captain for Grenada, who's already on a yellow. Has to be careful. Wasn't in the wrong at all initially. But it's just being a part of that secondary scuffle that could get you into a heap of trouble for a team that's up a goal. Can only afford to go down a man. For Grenada, you have to try to come out the way you ended that first half. Could be tempting to try and just defend this lead, pocket your 3 points to begin group play. It was when they were aggressive in the first half that they started to see the fruits of their labor come to pass. They were passive early on, that's when they conceded. More heavy contact and more tempers flaring. Again, it's Darshan Sylvester involved. He's claiming he got the ball. St. Martin's claiming that he should be sent off. Melissa Pennington, the referee, calling just the captains over to have this chat. She was turned this way, chatting to Captain Tyler Flanders of St. Martin, trying to pick up what she was saying, reading her lips. It seemed like she was saying, he made a play for the ball, it's not a yellow card. And then in turning to Darshan Sylvester, you could only imagine she was warning him, hey, this time it wasn't a yellow, that time you were playing the ball, but now you have to be careful. Now you're on an even shorter leash. Flag stays down. Attack could be on for Grenada. Swept away. Late whistle. Stanis Barreau is the one who's down. Tending to the head of Stanis Barreau. Kind of caught a stray inadvertent elbow as those two players crossed each other's paths. They are working on the right side of his head. Already had to make a couple of changes due to injury. St. Martin. It's just the first of 5 games they'll play in group qualifying. Hate to see any player go down, but this volume of players this early on will be difficult to navigate. Hopefully nothing long term and just precautions on the day. Now 2 more changes being readied by St. Martin. Kylian Creamet and Zanetti Malebranche are set to come on. Flag stays down. Contact there. Play on. Those changes, Malebranche and Creamet on 4. Stanis Barreau.
Sustituciones por la selección de St. Martin. Sale con el número 4, Stein Perry. Entra con el número 20, Keila Green. Sale con el número 14, Chan Arabu. Entra con el número 17, Zanetti Malebranche, al minuto 59.
Gian Albo, who came off as the other sub from Malebranche. St. Martin now at the hour mark, just trying to do anything to get back into this. Bounces awkwardly as Grenada look to clear now beyond the hour mark. Grenada won't be in any hurry with this lead. Opportunity to take all the time they so desire. Just off with a victory here. First of 5 games to be played in group play. 6 groups. The 6 group winners move on to the championship in July and August, where 6 teams are already pre-slotted. Those 6 teams that don't have to worry about qualifying include the United States, Mexico, Honduras, Panama, Cuba, and Guatemala as the 6th highest ranked U20 teams in Concacaf. A lot at stake when we get to that championship this summer. The 4 highest ranked teams, so the 4 semifinalists, I'll get there in a second, taken back by St. Martin. The 4 semifinalists of the tournament will all qualify for the 2027 U20 World Cup. And the 4 semifinalists also qualify for the 2027 Pan American Games. The highest ranked team, or the best finisher, I should say, that is not the United States, will also qualify for the 2028 Olympics. And the reason not the United States, they're already qualified for the 2028 Olympics as the host. So the reason it's worded as the highest finishing team, not the United States, if it's, say, United States, Costa Rica in the final, and the United States wins, well, then Costa Rica ends up as the runners-up of the tournament, still making the Olympics, because the United States are already qualified. If it's Costa Rica, Mexico in the final, then the winner of that, the champion, also qualifies for the Olympics. In previous editions, it was the 2 finalists who qualified for the Olympics because the United States are already qualified. That's why it's different this time around. Corner coming for Grenada. Good ball back through, cleared away. Trying to break out St. Martin with some steam, but to no avail. Space though now in Gasol. Taken through and pulled wide. Oh, what an opportunity that could have been for Charles Riadel. Still hobbling around is Monte Phillip, number 6 for Grenada. There's Italy Malebranche just subbed on, involved in this collision here.
Tarjeta amarilla por la selección de San Martín. Con el número 17.
For a chat to Shea St. Louis with his head coach, Alexis. To be happy with what they've seen so far. Second half really has not had much of a rhythm with some of the injuries we've seen. That has really been a favor for Grenada, keeping St. Martin in this sort of cycle of having to deal with this stop-start nature.
Sustituciones por la selección de Grenada. Sale con el número 6, Devon Philip. Entra con el número 19, Jaquan Pasis. Sale con el número 5, Terry Francis. Entra con el número 15, Adam Daniel. Minuto 68.
Rest of today, we'll see more action in this group. Peter Alexander now goes down, holding at his right leg. Teammates coming around, stretch him out. Perhaps just a cramp here. Again, temperatures over 90 degrees. Just saw 2 changes for Grenada. Jaquan Passe and Adam Daniel came in. Alyssa Pennington questioning what to do right now. He just went down on his own. Cramp obviously could set in, these temperatures, these conditions, but also weighing the gamesmanship aspect of trying to keep things honest here if you're Alyssa Pennington. You can't penalize a goalkeeper and send him off the field. Second half that has had nothing happen. Spent more time in between whistles than during the actual run of play in this second half. Later today, we get more matches in this group coming. The other 4 teams will take the field. We will see action coming up next between Suriname and Belize, and then ending the day El Salvador and French Guiana. Now back to it. Just over a quarter of an hour remaining. Grenada out to get this started on the right foot, it seems. Should they hold on? And now a free kick on the way. Seems like it'll be the captain, Narshawn Sylvester, into the wall. Sylvester and EJ George had the 2 goals for Grenada. A since subbed off injured Eli Inkpa had the goal for St. Martin. Awkward one to deal with there for Peter Alexander, just clears. Chance here for St. Martin. Played behind the striker. On coming together, shout for a penalty from St. Martin. But no matter, the offside flag is up. Malabranche. Tegar. That takes us into the hydration break of this second half. Still a lot to be sorted out in a one-goal game over the last quarter hour, but the second half that has had no real flow or rhythm to it because of some of the injuries. You wonder if just the temperature over 90 degrees taking its toll on some of these players, how much gamesmanship may be involved from Grenada. I've seen a lot of players go down with some calf cramps. Some other days you might point the finger more towards gamesmanship given the score and the circumstances, but today, the temperature's over 90 degrees. Very well could be a case of cramping, and nothing more nefarious than that.
Segundo juego, ¿qué hora es? Dame agua.
Dangerous ball back. Magloire had to track it down. He was headed toward goal. Captain Sylvester earns a corner for Grenada. Touché St. Louis. Be numbers here for St. Martin if they hurry. Right out in front, flag stays down. Into the area now, played square loose in front. Gathered by Alexander in what is still a one-goal game. It changed quickly. Through ball, too long. Right channel. They found some success. The ball played in, open header. Second time that Janelle Chaloriadel has had a good look inside the box. Second time he's missed. down the flank for St. Louis. Still St. Louis. Floats one in, looking for the insurance goal. Yellow card on the bench for St. Martin. Fourth official is letting Alyssa Pennington know. Another injury now, this time on the St. Martin side. It's once again putting a damper on the flow of play in the second half. The last few minutes, it's been non-stop. It's been back and forth, and St. Martin has found some opportunities. Maybe arguably been the better of the two sides when the flow of the game has been there today for larger stretches. Grenada just had that outstanding 10-minute stretch at the end of the first half when they scored both their goals. Another change for Grenada as Jan Frazier replaces Shea St. Louis, who's had a really good day. This is where that card was issued to the St. Martin bench.
Sustitución por la selección de Grenada. Sale con número 7, Chai Luis. Entra con número 18.
Blasted from distance, deflected. It was alive there for Grenada off the ricochet. Popped up over the top. It sat there, the backspin, and gave Kenji Han a chance, forced Peter Alexander to make a play. woods yet, Grenada. Last look shows you St. Martin could still find a leveler. Two-handed shove in the back was called against Janelle Chalaria-Dell. Waiting, Peter Alexander to pick it up. Every second counts now. Flag comes up, ending the threat. "90 minutes come and gone, waiting for the official word on stoppage." 5 minutes tacked on. Grenada looking to tack on a goal.
La cuarta oficial ha indicado que se agregará al menos 5 minutos al segundo tiempo.
Foul goes against Chase James. It looks like he'll be the one who will be picking up the card. Pennington waiting to make sure he's okay first.
Tarjeta amarilla por la selección de Grenada. Con el número 4, James, minuto 90+1.
Archon is hobbling off his Chase James. Sets up a free kick here. A good opportunity for St. Martin to get this goal back. Lost about a minute and a half of extra time just from this one foul and injury, so we'll see exactly how long Melissa Pennington lets this play out beyond the 5 minutes that were given. See what St. Martin can do on this free kick. Played low, ball loose, sent toward goal and saved by Alexander. Long throw, dealt with by St. Martin. Have to get it up the field. Minute to go of the initially awarded 5 minutes. Could go on beyond that though because of the injury. And another free kick coming for St. Martin. Could be the last opportunity. Makes sense. Tegar stands over the free kick. 5 minutes come and gone. We've seen a lot of stoppage though. Within stoppage time, will any more be added? Tegar's service, a poor one. Rescued by St. Martin. Number still forward. Floated long. Everybody thinks they're offside, so trying to leave it for somebody else. The flag stayed down. Goalless second half. Would see Grenada win it 2-1. There is the final whistle. Grenada had an outstanding 10-minute stretch to end the first half. They were down 1-0. They scored twice in that span, and they held on the rest of the way to take it 2-1 over St. Martin in the opening match of Group A play in this 2026 Concacaf Under-20 Championship qualifier. look back at the highlights from this 2-1 victory for Grenada over St. Martin to begin Group A play in the 2026 Concacaf Under-20 Championship qualifiers. From the jump, St. Martin may be the better of the two sides, especially in the opening 25 minutes, culminating in the goal scored by Eli Engpa in that 25th minute. There were chances for Grenada at the other end to go ahead and find a goal of their own in the meantime, but few and far between. The control belonged to St. Martin. They were getting closer and closer. Brenton Peters involved in a lot of it. Very early signs that Kamani Gatsibelzo was going to be a handful. And then from the corner, Kenji Han to the end line. Good move past the defender. Cuts it back. Engpa does the rest. 1-0 St. Martin. 25 minutes in, and everything was really flowing their way. Then the cooling break would come at the 30-minute mark, and whether it was just an opportunity to regroup or a tactical switch from head coach Jerry Lexus of Grenada, something shifted after that 30-minute mark cooling break. And all of a sudden it was Grenada who were in charge of this game. They would score the tying goal shortly after that cooling break. On the cutback, EJ George, well done by Roman Magloire, the goalkeeper, to make this initial save. So much power on it, the rebound went right back to where it came from. And the numbers, Grenada 3-on-2 in the 18. Cut back to EJ George. Good vision and composure from Hamza Frederick to get it there. Finished off 1-1. It didn't take long to double down either. Just moments later, after that goal from George, they would find another cut back from the captain, Arshawn Sylvester. Got his defender, Johnny Van Putten, to bite on it. Composed, keeper was leaning one way, he went the other way. And the captain gives Grenada the lead and ultimately the victory. 2-1 at this point, and the scoreline would not change thereafter. There were opportunities, this free kick right before halftime for St. Martin. Big save made by Peter Alexander. And in the second half, there really wasn't a whole lot of anything. There was a lot of contacts and some injuries in a physical second half. It really disrupted the overall flow of play. Neither side with many opportunities to test either keeper. Not a lot of play between the whistles, to be fair. There was a lot of the ball being stopped and dead in that second half. Grenada would do enough in the end to hold on and win it 2-1 over St. Martin. Here's your first look at standings in Group A. A whole lot to be decided. Every team will play 5 matches, but after one match, it's Grenada on 3 points. We will see Belize, El Salvador, French Guyana, and Suriname all take the field later today, as this day belongs to Group A in the Under-20 qualifiers. Stick with us. Next kickoff is just about an hour from now.